to you. The dunk against Utah could be the dunk of the year in college basketball.
UNLV in the gray uniforms and the red lettering. They are 4-4 on the season, Sean, but they're without Shakur Houston, their senior tonight. The forward from Newark is out indefinitely.
And they're going to miss him in particular on the glass because he is a beast. He had a game of 19 rebounds earlier this season.
He's out with a knee injury, hurt it in the game against Illinois that they lost by 3. UNLV has lost 3 straight after a 20-13 season last year. That was Marvin Menzies' second season at the helm for the Running Rebels.
Well, the concern becomes without him is you have a huge gap, and then the big question comes, okay, well, what's the timetable? And what we're being told by UNLV right now is they have no timetable whatsoever, and that it's going to be continued to be evaluated.
Foul underneath, still searching for our first field goal. Dave Rose in his 14th season with BYU. Never had a season where they lost where they won less than 20 games on the year.
Just a picture of consistency for BYU, and one of the things that he's done, I mean, he has an evolving, changing roster, maybe more so than any college basketball coach in the country. And we talked about John Calipari and his one and dones and when guys are coming and going. Well, he's got guys that are going on missions, and so you look at a binder. He has to know how many scholarships he has available for like the next 6 years, not just 4, but 6. And he and his staff has just done a tremendous job keeping BYU where it's been, 20-plus wins every year, and players like TJ Haws just continue to find their role, define their role, and he's coming off one of the best games of his entire career.
30 points against Portland State. 85-66 win for the Cougars. As UNLV is trying to work it inside. I mentioned Shakur Houston not playing, so Marvin Menzies is going to have to find some secondary players. And he's got a very young team, 11 freshmen and sophomores.
Yes, but you want to see growth and you want to see continued development out of this group. I mean, they've got a lot of length and a lot of athleticism, and they've been in some games where it's been tight. And what they need to realize is it's not those possessions late in the game that's costing them the opportunity to get those wins. It's the possessions usually in this portion of the game, right when it starts, and you have a couple empty possessions, you have a couple of turnovers, you don't rebound the ball, you give them a second chance point. Those are the possessions that come back and cost you at the end of the game.
Right.
It's not the 3 possessions at the end of the game.
And they've been in a lot of games. They're on that 3-game losing streak, but they lost to Illinois by 2, Cincinnati by 4, Valpo by 8. So they've been in position to win games against some pretty notable teams. Connor Harding, the baseline drive for the freshman from Idaho.
He does a really good job of getting his feet set so that he can rip and go like that. He attacks baseline more consistently than any player on BYU's roster.
Chris Clyburn, the leading scorer for the Rebels. With the 3-point.
Transition defense, anyone?
No, nobody's back.
Okay.
So that's Zach Sellius. You mentioned the recruiting for Coach Rose. Well, and there's something to be said, too, for now it's 2.5 minutes into the game.
To tell you to play hard.
Right.
I don't get the whole you have to play hard thing. You should just show up, put the uniform on, and play hard.
Well, there's a hustle play underneath by Jonathan Chachua.
Yeah, it's easy for you to say.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to attempt it.
Okay.
All right, but I will tell you this, is I get so annoyed covering college basketball right now and watching some of these teams. And Coach, no, we really want them to play hard. We got to work on our energy. We hope our guys play hard.
Should be implied. Should be part of this.
Right.
You're out there.
Hey,
what else are you going to do?
If you don't want to play hard, then why are you playing? Period. Good backdoor.
Arnett inside.
Now see, that should be an assist for Childs.
Got his own rebound.
That's a great pass by Childs. You blow the layup, you get an offensive rebound and a putback, but that was a great cut and a great read, and that's where Childs, as I mentioned at the start of the game, has really improved. Standing out on the perimeter, he's becoming a playmaker, not just a shot maker, scorer, and rebounder, but a willing passer to find his teammates. I mean, that is on a dime.
3 assists per game this season for Childs. Also, a block on the defensive end per game. 7 double-doubles this year for the big man Childs, who's out on the high post. Bekwa Zhang will have to deal with him all night. Zhang got in there, tried to save it. So now we're seeing some hustle plays from UNLV.
Well, and that's the staple. I mean, UNLV's program growing up. I mean, I dreamt of playing for UNLV. I couldn't wait for UNLV to show up back then on Monday nights on ESPN, late on the big Monday night game. There, you would always see them. And Tark's group was one of the best. And then covering UNLV when I first started in the television world when Lon Kruger was their coach. And seeing the level of excitement that this program had. And you want that to get back. And I know Marvin Menzies and his staff, they want it to come back too.
Loose ball out of bounds. Good defense by BYU. UNLV, the 5th winningest program of all time. And Menzies only in his 3rd season, but a very storied career at New Mexico State. Took that team 5 times to the NCAA tournament. He was the WAC Coach of the Year in 2015. So he's capable.
More than capable. But, you know, again, it's hitting the reset button. It's starting over, and it's trying to recreate.
Hard net with the left, not there.
It's a challenge, especially when you look at the conference and where it's at overall. And Nevada right now is just a class of the Mountain West.
But shouldn't that give you, if you're UNLV with all that pedigree, a leg up, given where the conference is?
It should. But, you know, San Diego State has taken a step back. And what helps you in recruiting often is the challenging conference schedule and who you play. Good defense that time. Much, much better by UNLV.
Transition for Amari Hardy.
Yeah, they get some stops, you get active hands, you get some runouts in transition. You don't have to go against BYU in the half-court set. Good job by the Rebels.
A 1-point lead. 3 turnovers on BYU already. Josh Shear, hard net. The JUCO transfer in his 2nd year with BYU, manning the point. In the corner for Harding. And we talked about the recruiting of Dave Rose. Harding's a freshman, but from the class of 2016. 2 years on an LDS mission, just returning this year.
Making an impact, too. I'll tell you, he works the baseline. It's not just the driving aspect, but it's being comfortable on that 3-pointer. And just when UNLV starts to make some plays, BYU answers with 5 quick points.
And Hardnet is a heady player. And I like watching him because one thing that he's done, I think, in his time at BYU is slow down the offense. He's good on defense as well, but on the half court, he slows things down and he's a good counterpoint to Hawes. You see TJ Hawes there, kicking out to Celius, and a guy who would really love to get going from 3-point range where he thrived as a freshman. Harding misses. Celius shot 50% as a freshman, then went on his mission for 2 years and came back, just hasn't been the same shooter. Perimeter defense by the Cougars here early. Seven on the shot clock, nothing doing there for Ntambwe. Offensive rebound and a putback for Mbakwe Jean. As the Run Rebels are 6th in the nation in offensive rebounds per game.
And it was Dave Rose talking at shoot-around today to his team. Was consistently reminding him we have to not just get the stop and force the miss shot. We've got to secure the ball. There's no leaking out, no running, just down the court trying to get transition looks until we have secured the ball. After that, they want to fly.
Jump stop by Hawes in the lane.
That's a tough shot.
It is a tough shot. BYU shooting over 50% from the floor to start this game.
Spinning back over his left shoulder. And double pump faking and clutching it until he let that one fly. And BYU, a balanced start to this game. TJ Hawes coming off of 30 points says, I'm doing it for the U. Over.
It's a light day for Jimmy. What do they call him over there? The lonely god? The lonely sheep? What do they call him?
I just call him good.
He's darn good. He's going to have his own shoes over there like Marbury. A statue. 5 on the shot clock for UNLV. See if they know it. It's a left-handed 3 by Bryce Hamilton, the freshman from Pasadena High School.
Season best 16 points, but trying to find consistency. How about this? The last 3 games, he was 0 for 8 from beyond the arc.
How about that?
So for him to get going, they think he's a much better shooter than he's shown in this early season.
He's recruited by Ohio State, Utah, Arizona State. Chose to come play for UNLV. So Nick Emery is in the game. his 4th game of the season, coming off a 9-game suspension. Beats Childs inside, little jump hook.
First time I've really seen Childs go comfortable, good look down low in the post. And if I'm BYU, I'm just going to go to that until they start doubling. And then once they start doubling, that's when you start slicing them up and just passing out of the double.
Childs is in his 3rd year. What do you like in his evolution as a basketball player?
Well, I mentioned a couple times his playmaking. He's much more comfortable passing the ball. He's always been a good back to the basket scorer. He's always been a guy that can control the paint here.
Ntambwe ties things up. He's a 46% three-point shooter on the season.
His best game of the season, 17 points against Illinois.
BYU, the offense feeds through Childs, who draws the foul underneath John.
Sometimes we overcomplicate the game of basketball. Sometimes it's just really simple. If you're BYU, the people that are streaming right now this game.
I really thought you were there. I just think you're everywhere. The mayor of college basketball.
You know who's everywhere right now on the floor, though?
TJ Haws.
Yeah, he has been outstanding. He is 3 for 3. And what I love about it more than anything is that at a start of a game, after you shot the ball so well last time out, the thought process is, you know what? I'm going to do that again. I'm going to make all my three-point shots. I'm going to continue to be hot. The thing with TJ over the season so far is he's had games where he shot the ball well from 3, and then other games where he has really struggled for 3. There's been inconsistency, even though his percentage is at 41. There's games like he had last time out where he's shooting 75% from 3, and then there's other games where he's shooting 20%. They need him to be more consistent. One of the ways to find a rhythm is by going into the paint.
Yeah, the emergence of Childs and the ability for BYU to work through him has allowed Haws to mature and evolve as a more stable guard for this team.
Feed by Emery on that last possession.
Another steal by Hardner.
Well, that's because of the defense.
He's coming off a game against Portland State, career high, 4 steals. He's done that twice already this year. He's got a couple here tonight. Again, they go back to Childs, and why not? We'll fade away this time.
See, I will not fade away if I was Childs. I'd look to turn and get to that jump hook.
Already missed 3, goes out of bounds, and will stay with UNLV.
Well, you talk about Emery and his reemergence as part of this roster and program. Really hasn't played basketball for over a year. And now just in his 4th game, one of the things they talk about is he needs to be able to provide some emotional impact at both sides of the court. And early in his first couple of minutes here, he's been able to do that. You know, people got enamored because he scored 11 in his opening game back. And they're like, oh, look, he's already... You know, it's going to take him some time, so be patient.
Well, and it seems like he's embraced his role, because when he was a freshman, it was kind of him and Haws as the star freshman. These are guys who are going to lead the program for the next 4 years. And obviously, Emery leaving the program last year due to personal issues. Haws has been great the past couple of years, but he's kind of taken a backseat to Childs. So both Haws and Emery have kind of realigned their expectations for being at BYU.
And in doing so, they're helping this program continue to improve. I think the last couple of games, they've been a lot better than where they were at the start of the season.
Nice pick and roll, but Childs could not finish. BYU up by 2. Eric Rothman, Sean Farnham here with you in Las Vegas. Shimmy shake by Robothon. Offensive rebound for UNLV. Ntambwe, the freshman from the Congo. And a steal by the Runyon Rebs.
Yeah, that was a force by Emery. I mean, just telegraph pass. Sometimes the best offense for UNLV is just throw it up in the glass and go after it.
Good ball movement. It's Ntambwe.
And I'm not meaning that in a derogatory way, by the way. It's just the strength of your team for UNLV. Sometimes a bad shot ends up being a good miss and opening up an opportunity to rebound, which is a huge strength for the Rebels.
The Rebels have started to find success underneath as Ntambwe, the 6'9" forward, has 9 points on 3 of 4 shooting. He's been cleaning up the glass as well. 5 rebounds for him.
Think about offensive rebounding numbers. They average about 15.5 per game. Offensive rebounds. That's #1 in the conference and 6th best in college basketball. So one thing that tells you is they're missing a lot of shots. Okay, but they're also rebounding at such a high clip, it gives them an opportunity to get those second chance points when the defense isn't as settled and isn't as structured.
We talked about hustle. It's the hustle on the offensive end and that extra pass that leads to that Hardy three. 3-point lead now for the Rebs, and they get a block on the other way. And Ntambwe John, the block. Kicked out Clyburn for three. Whistle underneath. Away from the ball. Will be on BYU.
Good job getting back. Good job utilizing length and athleticism to send that one away. And Ntambwe John sending that one back the opposite direction.
7-0 run here for UNLV. After that timeout taken 2 minutes and 20 seconds into the game by Marvin Menzies, his team has turned up the intensity level.
Well, the other thing too is you're starting to look here, and BYU's lunging and reaching a little bit defensively. And when you start lunging, you start reaching, you're out of position. And as you lose the form to your defense, usually that means that there's going to be guys in the back line that can get behind and cause issues for you.
Well, this kind of goes back to what you were talking about with the offensive rebounding, but it seems like UNLV tonight has been successful in unsettled situations.
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
It was Corpus Christi last night.
It was beautiful. Windy. Top-ranked boxing on ESPN+. I assume you watched. You were there, right? You were everywhere there.
I was at Luke Combs last night. My guy Luke Combs was performing at the Cosmopolitan.
A way to support your buddy Tess. I know you don't want to support me. At least Tess, I thought you would.
I watched 90% of his fights. I watched the Lomachenko fight.
It's a good fight.
I mean, that was a great fight. I'll watch him on Monday. Monday's a big deal. The Panthers are playing on Monday. It's Monday Night Football. All over the place. He is actually all over the place. I'm not. Joe Tessitore is. I want to know if Tess got one of those commemorative footballs that Drew Brees bought with his milestone moment of obviously becoming the all-time leading passer in NFL history. I mean, that was a game on Monday Night Football that my guy Joe Tess got to promise you. Think about how good Monday Night Football's been. You had that game. You had probably the best game maybe in the last 5 years of the NFL, which was kind of like a Big 12 type game, and the Chiefs and the Rams. I mean, that was incredible.
Maybe the best Monday Night Football game
ever. It's in there. It's in the discussion. I think a lot of people go to that Bears Miami Dolphins game when the Bears took their first loss of the season down in Miami. I think a lot of people look at that one. There's some iconic moments that we remember. Bo Jackson running out of the back of the end zone.
24-22 as we reset here at the Neon Hoop Showcase at T-Mobile Arena. This place is beautiful.
Fantastic facility.
Fantastic arena.
I understand why the Pac-12 wanted to come to Vegas.
Home of the Golden Knights of the NHL, maybe future home of an NBA franchise. It is ready, that's for sure. NFL will be here in a couple of years. Raiders. The traveling road show that is the Oakland Raiders.
What if they wanted to market themselves as the Los Angeles, Oakland, Las Vegas Raiders?
The Oakland Raiders of Las Vegas. A little
well,
Anaheim
you gotta leave Los Angeles in there too.
We'll see where they play next season. Up in
San Diego.
Yeah.
That'll be great. The Los Angeles Chargers are playing the San Diego Raiders.
Defense by UNLV, 4 turnovers for BYU. It leads to a transition 3 for Chris Clyburn.
Not just a transition 3, but an uncontested look into the corner. The defense completely collapsed to the paint and didn't close out at all.
Clyburn, a guy who was the first recruit. Marvin Menzies came to town. He has been a steadying force, the senior from Detroit, as Emmerich gets inside for the finger roll.
It's just a savvy move right there. Obviously, understanding, feeling the defense, and knowing where they were position-wise.
Ntambwe, he's been the man so far. A dozen points for Joel Ntambwe, the freshman.
And more important than that is just the ability to shoot the 3. They are 6 of 9 from beyond the arc.
That's good. Good defense. That time by Robothon. Pro UNLV crowd, as you would expect here in Las Vegas, although it is a neutral site game, which frankly I take umbrage with.
Well, the thing about this UNLV team, we mentioned how great they are at offensive rebounds and getting on the glass. But the thing that has stood out so far has been their ability to shoot the three. Let's put it into perspective. On the season, they are averaging 5.5 made three-point shots. As a team, they shoot 27% from beyond the arc. So the scouting report is saying, hey, UNLV, they want to score inside the arc. They're not good beyond. They are 6 of 9. Now 6 of 10.
Hardnett, some really easy buckets here early. Big reason why the defense is played. On the other end, Yoli Childs fighting for it on the sideline. We talk about the three-point shooting of UNLV. The guys who have gotten done tonight. Chris Clyburn comes into the game as a 29% three-point shooter on the season. But Ntambwe, even though he's a big guy, doesn't take a ton of threes. He is shooting at a 46% clip, and he's perfect. 2 of 3 tonight.
It's been a lot of fun. This is a great rivalry. I remember these matchups in the Mountain West Conference and how competitive they were. It's good for their fan bases. This game's going to get returned next year. They're played in Salt Lake City.
Another neutral site. Another three for UNLV. Not guard the corner at all.
It was just a simple basketball on-ball screen right towards the middle. The whole defense will collapse on you, and then just fling it to the corner and hit a wide-open three.
UNLV 7 of 12 from 3. BYU 1 of 4. With 5.5 minutes to play here in the first half. Lefty.
BYU is ice cold. Right middle and fling it to the corner again.
Why not press on the perimeter on defense? Clyburn again. You bet.
Look, I know the scout report says, hey, they shoot 27% as a team. They only make 5
into conference play. It's a 20-5 run right now for the Rebels.
Childs has really struggled against the length and athleticism of UNLV.
And it hasn't been just one guy on defense. They've platooned against Childs. Right now it's Ntambwe. Foul on UNLV.
And it should be noted, UNLV is also doing this without their second leading scorer on their roster, Shakur Justa. You mentioned right at the top, out with a knee injury, hurt it against Illinois. No timetable for his return. Will continue to be reevaluated.
Childs on Ntambwe again.
See, remember a couple times he's faded away, and I said that's what he should be doing every possession.
Caught the ball deeper.
Well, that's because you got to work early. Yep. You want to catch the ball in the paint, you got to do your work early. You got to pin and seal. You cannot wait for the ball to be passed to the wing. You already have to have that seal in place before that pass to the wing happens.
8 on the shot clock for Ntambwe. Defense by Celius. Celius is called for the foul. I've been impressed with Ntambwe. His cousins with New York Knicks star Emmanuel Mudiay. He was recruited by teams like UCLA, Wichita State, Tennessee. He's only been in the U.S. 4 years, native of the Congo.
Heavy international influence for UNLV. And 5 players from Africa.
Name them all, Sean.
We've mentioned most of them already. But, you know, look, the globalization of our sport continues. I mean, there are people playing this game all around the world that dream of having an opportunity to play college basketball and open up a door of opportunity to potentially have a professional career.
We've got 2 teams in this Neon Hoop Showcase that have found their roots in foreign countries as recruiting grounds, with obviously UNLV, Coach Menzies in Africa, and then coming up next, St. Mary's and Coach Bennett in Australia and New Zealand.
Talk about a place like Cameroon. Luke Richard Mbadalute is what he was called when he was in college at UCLA. His gone on and had an unbelievable NBA career from people like Joel Embiid. There's a lot of talent globally, and it just keeps.
Embiid, I think, did a little bit more than hand check.
Clotheslines, optional.
You know the Junkyard Dog is here.
I did know that. We talked about that before the start of the game. Attack.
Not happy with a no call there as Hawes was driving and finds Childs to finish it off. BYU wants to get back in this for the final 3:10 of the first half. It's got to go through Childs and Hawes, as it did in the first half of this first half. Baseline for Clyburn.
Well, that's not good. Hawes
holding that right knee.
Holding the knee as he goes down to the ground. And you don't want to see that, obviously, if you're a BYU fan.
Coach Rose comes over to him immediately.
It's good to see them get him up so quickly. You figure if it was something that was more than just, knee on, maybe knee to knee, that the trainer wouldn't allow him to get brought up that quickly.
Right there with Clyburn. The left knee of Clyburn on the drive. Right. So McKay Cannon, the senior guard, comes into the game, as well as Connor Harding, the freshman. Rylan Bergerson, who we have not seen in this one, checks in as well. Clyburn missing the alley-oop after he got the steal, but was bailed out by a whistle on Bergerson.
I'll tell you, BYU has been careless with the basketball and has allowed some transition momentum to be built by UNLV. Look, UNLV's, their three-pointers really started off of turnovers. And then once they started seeing the ball go through the hoop, it just has kind of carried over through a majority of this first half.
And most of the turnovers, now they have 6 of them. They've been lazy turnovers. It's not like they're making UNLV work hard on the defensive end. They're passing the ball right to them.
Yeah, they're live ball turnovers. I think a lot of coaches would say, hey, if we have turnovers and the ball gets punted into the 15th row, we're okay with that. What we don't want is the turnover that leads to a run out with our defense not set. The more that your defense is set, the more difficult it will be normally as far as percentage of shots that you get at that end.
Hardnett searching for a whistle, did not get it. Harding crossover on the baseline.
That's a bad offensive possession. 0 passes.
Bergerson up ahead. No. Foul on Bergerson on the miss. Not only BYU turning the ball over, but missing a lot of point-blank shots as well.
Missing close shots. And then fouling 94 feet away from the basket. I mean, just...
Bergerson's come in now.
That's been a frustrating first half for Coach Rose.
He's got 2 fouls. Pause on the bench. BYU searching for a spark.
Look, I go back to what Coach Rose said. We're still finding ourselves. We know how we want to play, but we need to execute it. And I think that sums up what we've seen in the first 18 minutes of this first half. They know how they want to play. They're just not executing. And for BYU to take that next step to be the consistent program they can be, they have to be able to execute that for longer periods of times than what we've seen so far.
Turn to another freshman, Gavin Baxter. His first time in the game. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Young core out there right now for BYU. Harding, another freshman missing.
I'm going to tell you what Coach Rose told me the keys to this game would be. And I want you to tell me whether or not they've done them successfully. I'm going to read all 3. Okay? They have to keep UNLV off the offensive glass.
No.
They have to keep them out of transition.
No.
They have to be able to handle the physical pressure that UNLV can bring.
No.
All right? That's why you're down 14. So your 3 biggest keys that you talked about with your team at shooting. The three first things he said to me, I said, UNLV, what's the key? Boom. He listed those three without hesitation. They've not been able to do it.
And then you add on the fact that they have 6 turnovers that have led to buckets. And the fact that
uncharacteristic three-point shooting.
Right. UNLV is 8 for 14 from 3. Doesn't help the cause at all either. 10 on the shot clock for Cannon. Good defense by Clyburn. He has been excellent in this first half. Cannon the drive. Good help side defense by the running Rebels. Foul underneath. Yeah, they're going to call it on UNLV. I think they're going to call it on Ntambwe 22pts for flying in there to help. So here's 30 right there. Got him on the elbow. I don't like that call as the shot clock's expired.
Well, no, but if it's a foul, it's a foul. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, but Baxter wasn't even the one who had the rebound. It was Cannon.
No, Cannon drove.
Right. So who's the foul?
Who's on first? What's on second?
Baxter's on the free throw.
The ball.
But where am I right now?
I mean, that was a very confusing
decision
there.
Ntambwe, number 24.
So then that had to be the push in the back, but that came after.
It was away from. It had to be away from the ball. Harding for 3. The lefty. Ben Coupet Jr. Sophomore out of Chicago called for the foul.
Foul is on.
Has some hustle by the freshman Baxter, who will go back to the free throw line in the bonus for BYU. BYU, no points in the last 2.5 minutes. UNLV stretched this lead out to 14 points. Again, injury to TJ Hawes, who has not come back, is sitting at the end of the bench for BYU. Childs out there with freshman and sophomore, and then his old running mate, Jashir Harden, who just came back. More. About an extra one. Robothon and one.
That's great offense. That is really pretty offense. There were multiple times where you could have taken a good shot if you're UNLV, and instead you turned them down twice to find a great shot. And there's the great shot. Look how long of a run out you're forcing them to make. After the release, the contact comes. Beautiful job being ready, getting your feet set underneath you, and knocking down yet another three-pointer.
Given how UNLV came out of the game in the first 2.5 minutes, I'm shocked that they have a 17-point lead right now. That timeout that Marvin Menzies took with 17:40 to go, that's a Webby Award nominee for best timeout of the year. 9-0 run for UNLV, 20 seconds to go here in the first half as Hawes is back in there, still shaking off that right knee.
They desperately need to score going into halftime here to get just a little sense of like, hey, we can do this. Because they have been dominated here in the first half.
Trying to feed Hawes, 3 to shoot. A little Euro step through the defense. And a foul underneath again on the rebound, this time on Coupet Jr. With 0.6 seconds to go on the game clock here to end the first.
There's been some uncharacteristic whistles.
Marvin Menzies not thrilled. He's thrilled with the score, but not thrilled that BYU keeps getting extra opportunities.
Well, I mean, Baxter is 0 for 3 in the front ends.
Shooting to lead the running Rebels as they are on a 9-0 run to start this second half.
By the way, I just confirmed, not the real life hotel.
Thank you.
Have you been there?
The real life hotel?
No, this is fun.
Yes, both of them actually.
Okay.
You know, it's also not the real Statue of Liberty.
You mean the Statue of Liberty doesn't wear a Las Vegas Knights jersey? Fantastic, though. It's been a great weather here in Las Vegas. A great sports day in Vegas. I mean, it's where the college bowl season begins. Congratulations to Fresno State, knocking off Arizona State to win the Las Vegas Bowl from a great crowd. earlier today, and then these two basketball games here tonight, an opportunity for these teams to continue to try to build their resume in the non-conference and try to gain momentum as they head towards conference play in about 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks.
Well, BYU, they've been playing well recently, 8-4 on the year, but what do they need to do here in the second half to get things going?
It starts with stops, and then it starts with playing through Childs. I mean, Childs needs to catch the ball down low. He stand on the three-point line just watching. I mean, Haas hitting threes, that's good too. But I really think 23's got to get engaged in this game. First half, just 4 of 10 shooting. At 8 and 7, so you're like, oh, Shani almost has a double-double. Yeah, but the quality of shot he's taking hasn't been that high.
Just the second three-pointer of the game for BYU is the turnaround inside by Ntambwe Jean. Sophomore from Senegal. There's Childs with the right hand. Got his own tip follow, and it bounced around and in.
Yeah, I love when they utilize him and he comes out and slips that screen. He did one time in the first half, now second time here. He scored on both of them. Haas really good at delivering that pass. Marvin Menzies, what you're telling your team at halftime is, guys, just because we shot the ball really well from the outside in the first half, let's not assume that we're going to do so in the second half. We have to know who we are as a team. So if it's open and we have those shots, let's take it. But let's stay true to what we can do and what we know we can do, and that's try to score inside. And you've seen that in the early stages here of the second half.
They've done it well, especially without Shakur Houston. He's out with a knee injury. Offensive rebound. Second and third efforts not going in for UNLV, but they'll get another chance. As you see the senior, Shakur Houston, a big blow. The second leading scorer on this UNLV team. He's out. I'm not sure when he will return.
You missed a beat them. And they really haven't. No, you're talking about a major loss, in particular on the glass.
Oh, it's because Ntambwe has stepped up. Freshman. Another unforced error by BYU. This time it's Childs. And now a foul on BYU to make matters worse.
BYU is struggling right now, just bringing the ball up the floor. And part of the problem is they're trying to throw passes through defensive players.
So if that keeps happening, why not just hold and let the defense clear out? It's not like UNLV is staying back and pressing them.
They're playing rushed. They're playing too fast. They're trying to play to get back into this game instead of just valuing each possession and whittling this thing down. A lot of times when you see the kind of lead that they had at halftime, meaning UNLV, BYU, you're going to say, okay, can we win the first 4 minutes? Guys, it doesn't matter if we win the first 4 minutes by 2 points. Can we win the first 4 minutes, and then let's win the second 4 minutes? It's literally just whittling this thing down into 4-minute blocks and trying to win each and every one of those.
Celius picks up his third foul for BYU. Joel Ntambwe at the line. He's already doubled up his season average in scoring. He's got 14 points in this one, came in averaging 7. And he has stepped up beautifully in the absence of Houston. Back out to a 16-point UNLV lead. So far, BYU not winning the first 4 minutes as they go back inside to Childs. That's a tough shot. Good defense by Ntambwe Jean. Childs goes right over it. Is there anything Childs can do, Sean, to make himself more available on the offensive end? It seems like when he's gotten the ball, Ntambwe hits another three for UNLV. It seems like when he's got the ball low, that's when he's been effective. But it hasn't happened often.
Well, it's the strength of his game. I think because he's worked on skill development on the outside, I've seen him floating a lot. We're not posting up on this possession. He's in the deep corner, opposite of where the ball is at.
Kick back, Celius in the corner. That'll help.
Yeah, it helps, Eric, but you've got to be able to get stops. You give up a three, and then you make a three. It's a push scenario. You're not cutting down the lead.
A push is a win in Vegas. Did you know that?
I don't gamble.
Pause the foul. UNLV getting underneath into the basket and forcing BYU to take a foul.
Did that sound believable there?
No, you didn't.
Okay.
Well, we won't mention what we said at the break. 15 seconds on the reset for UNLV. Ryberg, the senior, has had the hot hand. 6 of it from the floor, 17 points.
One dribble pull-ups, though. I mean, just too easy. Gotta get stops.
And one for Hardnett on the other end.
Hey, I told you, it's not really about the offense at BYU. BYU's gonna score the ball. I'm not worried about that. You give it a step-in, mid-range jump shot for UNLV, and then you're forcing it at the other end of the floor just to try to respond. You can't respond when you're trailing by 17 at the break. You have to come out ahead.
Are there any adjustments that Coach Rose can make on the defensive end to spark that side of the basketball?
Defense a lot is about communication and effort. We've talked about this before in games that we've done this year. You've got to be able to talk. If you're losing your man, you got to ask for help. You know, you've got to be flying around, rotating. If you get beat, you understand somebody else is stepping up to help you. And you got to go help the guy that's going to help that guy. Defense can be chaotic.
Oh, that's good defense on the perimeter. Took the body shot, they got the steal. Hardnett on the baseline. The extra pass, Celius just hit one from there. Left hand drive for Rabatha. Offensive rebound again. It's just the effort plays. Even though it's a turnover on UNLV, you see the running Rebels winning the 50-50 balls.
Limit your turnovers. You got to limit the opportunity to have UNLV get some easy run-ups. And they won the first 4-minute period. Look, 13-9. Advantage BYU. Can you do it again?
Eric Rothman, Sean Farnham here with you at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Home of the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Celius cutting across the paint. He has been good. 5 points here in the second half for Celius.
Moving without the basketball, UNLV a little standing straight-legged, not necessarily in the stands, communicating to the defensive end. Good job by BYU.
Ntambwe fouled by Childs. They have not been afraid to go at Childs on the inside.
Fourth foul on BYU.
Second foul on Childs. So Ntambwe Jean, sophomore from Senegal, at the free throw line. Came to the U.S. in 2016. Went to Florida for some prep school. Last year, big shout out to him. He was an All Mountain West academic team member. Scholars on this running Rebels team.
Free throw line is where he's got to continue to improve because he gets there a ton. And for him, last time, 5 of 6 last game, and another careless pass.
UNLV gives it right back, a gift to Haas, and then Bryce Hamilton, the freshman, threw it away and committed the foul.
I mean, just value the possession.
How many times has BYU turned the ball over in the back?
4. Definitively, I can tell you. 4.
Hardnett airmails the 3. They're going to get lucky because it went off the arm. Chambon, Chachua.
Your Coach Rose, your team hasn't played well. Not even close to how they played against Utah.
They don't seem like they have the life in them. It's just a lack of energy.
Well, there's a little bit of lack of energy in the building too. Yeah. You know, I mean, you've got to sometimes be a self-motivator, a self-starter.
Not sure what we're waiting on here.
A spilled drink on the ball. Front row.
Ball hit a beer. Travesty here in Las Vegas. We will remember this day.
A little slow on the cleanup here too. I mean, like, let's go.
No energy on the cleanup crew.
Like, I mean, this is a lack of effort. Like, get down and clean it up. He doesn't want to put his beer down. Buddy, it's wet there. We need to clean it up so we can play.
It's the Cabbage Patch. What is he doing?
I don't know. Not helping is what he's doing. Where's the game crew needs to get over there? The guys underneath the basket. Let's play some hoop.
Well, we have a moment. We talked about the second game here tonight in Las Vegas. LSU and St. Mary's. Oh, we're going to get a kid to do it?
Yeah, nothing. I mean,
really nice.
This is
LSU St. Mary's, what are you looking forward to in this game? We talked about Waters and Ford, the guard matchup. Ford, 22 points per game for St. Mary's, who has been playing well since last time you and I saw them at home against Cal.
There's no question. These are two guards that are amongst the best in their individual conferences. WCC for Ford, Waters in the SEC. And that matchup is going to be the key to who wins the game. Waters got to control the ball and not turn it over quite as much. As we are still in the slowest cleanup in the history of a spilled beverage. I kind of wish we didn't throw the graphic up and we just detailed the cleanup efforts.
As play resumes, 14.5 minutes to go here in the second half. Again, Childs further away from the basket where he'd like to be, but nice spin move.
But again, aggressively turning versus fading. In the first half, we saw a lot of fades. Don't fade. Use your strength, use your shoulders, use your upper body strength, and then look to attack.
UNLV playing out of the perimeter, just 1 3-pointer so far here in the second half as they turn it over again. The 11th turnover on the running Rebels. Celius. Clyburn with the left.
Good job that time by UNLV. Offensive rebound. And immediately looked up the floor and had an outlet and an easy finish.
Offensive rebound for Childs. Foul on the drive by Hartnett.
Now this is the difficult thing. If you're a shooter, right, and you miss the shot, if you move up to stop the ball handler, the second you move up and you give up the back line, play action pass, right, and allowing the wide receiver to get behind the back line, you don't want to do that.
Hey, double one down. Double one down. Hey, double one down. Double one down. Double one down.
Emery will come back into the game for BYU. Out there with Harding, the freshman. Pause, no ill effects of that knee injury in the first half. But another turnover. Trying to force it inside the Childs. Point advantage for UNLV. They led by 17 at the half. They have not been as effective as Ntambwe has been on the bench with those 3 fouls. They have not had the same flow to their offense. Emery foul. Big difference in UNLV without Ntambwe on the floor.
There is, but it's not like BYU is taking full advantage of it either. So if you're Marvin Menzies, what you're doing right now is saying, hey, this is good. I mean, we've got 13-point lead. The guy that's been our go-to player has been sitting on the bench for a long time. Get ready to check back into this game. We're okay.
Ntambwe is back in there. Rylan Bergerson also has 3 fouls, but for BYU. Emery, 4th game back after the 9-game suspension. 1,000 points in his first 2 years with BYU before withdrawing from the school and taking a year off last year. 4 points here in this one, down to an 11-point UNLV lead.
They need his emotional energy right now, doing a great job communicating at the top of the zone.
Nice turnaround on the inside. Chambla Jajua. Child, that's an awkward looking shot.
He was way off balance. That was not the quality shot that you want to see.
BYU didn't even wait for him to get down the floor. He was trying to get into position.
Yeah, but if you catch the ball and you're not in an operational area where you feel like you can score the basketball, jump stop, be on balance. Give it back up and have faith that your teammates will find you again.
Corner 3.
You don't have to take it off balance, though.
Right. Hamilton this time. Good quick transition bucket there by Hawes with the floater. You're right, Sean. You see much more communication out of BYU with Emery on the floor on the defensive end. Already drives on Emery, who was called for the foul.
And part of the reason why he got caught there is he was looking away, trying to communicate to his teammates. Got to understand, talking's good, trying to make sure everybody else in position's great.
Has been clicking. Good ball movement, finding 10 three-pointers on 20 attempts, and Ntambwe has filled in nicely for Shakur Justin, who is out with the knee injury. Nearing the midway point here in the second half, Ntambwe the drive. Hardy foul. But that's what Ntambwe has been doing. He's got the defense to collapse around him. They kick the ball out, they make the extra pass. It's a selfless team here tonight. Knocking down the three.
Sometimes like to overcomplicate the game, but it's very simple. As an offense, what do you want to do there? You want to force them to chase you. You want to force them to move. You want to force them to lose their defensive integrity. UNLV has done an outstanding job doing just that. Shot fake on the perimeter drive. Now the defense collapse. Now you kick it out. Now you're running out. Now they're driving right back at you. Now you're out of position. You foul. One more foul and we're shooting free throws the rest of the way.
Childs again catching the ball on the perimeter. Ferguson bobbled, threw it away.
Let's watch this possession, see if there's that same level of poise. Okay, now two have stepped to the ball. Now you kick to the corner.
Clyburn for three.
To be honest, I thought he should have turned down that three-point shot. I think that was a good one.
He had the baseline.
Little shot fake and then drive again.
No look, Haas, Hardnett missed it, got his own rebound, and a foul.
Hardnett's missed two easy layups. There's been a couple of really good passes on some great cuts by him, and he just hasn't been able to finish.
Haas with a beautiful pass to find him. Just seems like we haven't seen Haas have a ton of opportunities to make those great passes that he's so good at. As UNLV sleeping on the rebound.
Well, Childs, have they stopped him when he's gone aggressively to the paint?
No. Well, they haven't stopped him when he's caught the ball in the low post. The problem is he has not been catching the ball in the low post. Been catching it 15, 18, 20 feet away from the hoop.
The first half he did, and he was fading.
That's true.
When he turns and goes middle, they haven't been able to stop him.
Hardy, second three-pointer of the half for UNLV. Back out to 14-point lead.
They have doubled their average for three-point shots made.
Hardnett foul again. Hardy called this time, but again, that play started with Childs top of the key.
17 foul.
16 and 9 for Childs. Yeah, you talked about it. That looks like a good stat line. Looks like a fine stat line, but it leaves out how many opportunities he's missed by not doing what you talked about, and that's going aggressive to the basket when he has the ball in his hands.
I think as a player, sometimes you have to understand, okay, I have an advantage. What is my advantage? Where is my advantage? How can I be most successful? Once you've identified what that is in a given night, and sometimes it might not be going strong to the middle. Sometimes it might be that fadeaway. But if it's strong to the middle, go strong to the middle until they stop. Go back to the game against Utah. They went to Childs and he had the first 12 points of that game. I want to see that kind of focus, that kind of a level of intensity.
Nice move by Hardy. Flipped it up and just rattled out. Now a 2-on-1 for BYU as Hardnett searching for another foul. He got it. 3 whistles on the last 3 drives by Joshua Hardnett. It's a 4th on Clyburn. That's a big foul.
Well, I thought that Clyburn did a nice job giving up real estate. I don't think he was doing anything in that instance that garnered the foul.
So now the 2 big guys scoring-wise for UNLV in foul trouble. The leading scorer, Clyburn, takes a seat with those 4 fouls. Ntambwe, second leading scorer. He's out there, but he has 3. So if Hardnett has found an opportunity to get himself to the free throw line consistency, he's going to keep targeting the foul-riddled UNLV running Rebels, and at least when he comes back out on the floor.
Well, and now it's a bonus situation. So if you're BYU, even more now than ever, get the ball in the paint and be aggressive. Get to the free throw line, manufacture points. One, you got to sustain some stops here. But two, you've got to be able to manufacture points.
Zone defense, and Bergerson, that will be his third personal.
We call Ferguson his third personal.
Ferguson's had issues finding his defensive footing in the few minutes he's been in this game. What do you think about dropping into the zone if you're BYU?
They've been in the zone the entire second half. I mean, so they've changed up their zone a little bit, but they've been in the zone for the entire second half. And really, it hasn't been the three-point shot that's hurt them. It's been their ability to break down that front level and attack, forcing the back line of that defense to have to step and then rotate through.
Keep sending UNLV to the free throw line, and very good. 15 of 18 from the line. Attempted 6 more free throws than BYU has. That one rattles out. Emery, quick fire 3. Nick Emery, maybe the spark that BYU needs.
Well, and that's one of those shots that you better make, right? Like, I mean, you're in transition, and nobody else is back. There's a numbers advantage really for UNLV, and you're pulling from NBA. And that was it. I got you. I can knock this one down. I got confidence and belief, and maybe we'll see if that sparks this Cougars team.
Well, Spark Dalton makes it
the first time in a long time it's been under 10.
That's right. Since early in the first half. 17-point lead at the half. And now UNLV wants to talk about it. A little momentum swing here with 9:02 to go here in the second half with BYU and Nick Emery, your team going.
Well, and then the ability to step to the free throw line and make shots. What they've done is they've gone into aggressive mode. They're in the double bonus the remainder of the game, which means every foul they're shooting 2 free throws.
Closest BYU has been since they trailed 31-26. 9-point game here at the T-Mobile Arena. Eric Rothman, Sean Farnham with you at the Neon Hoop Showcase. Clyburn floater, no, late whistle. Comes in after the shot on the floor against BYU.
If you had plans to watch the LSU St. Mary's game scheduled to tip at 8 o'clock, you might want to push that back. Oh.
The beer cleanup didn't help us.
No, but neither do the fouls and all the free throws.
But it has turned into a good game. 17-point lead for UNLV at the end of the first half, and now we're seeing what BYU is made of.
That's why you can't panic. And again, it's about consistency, and what BYU has done is they've been very consistent in the start of the second half of just whittling it away. It's 3 points here. It's 5 points here. It's not a 17-point shot that's going to bring you back, and that's what you can't play hero ball when you're trailing by 17. You've got to play unselfishly. You've got to trust your offense even more so, and then defensively, you really got to buy in. And part of the reason why BYU is back in this game is they've really done a nice job eliminating some of those careless turnovers that we saw in the first half.
Thinking about the 3. Now pass out of bounds. Those free throws by Ake Jean ended a 2.5-minute scoreless drought for UNLV. They still haven't had a field goal in 3.5 minutes. Just clinging to this 7-point lead. Talk about getting the free throw line. Hardnett has been good getting there in this one. 4 of 5 from the stripe. 3 straight drives to start the second half when he went to the free throw line. 4 on the shot clock as they go ISO to Childs. Using the body.
Every time. You isolate him, and if he turns and goes towards the basket, he has made every single one of the shots too.
Double-double for Yoli Childs. spinning. Good defense by Embry. Embry got the rebound. Quickly they push. Nixon, blocked from behind. Count the basket. Good hustle by Ntambwe 22pts. Was there just a hair too late.
That is a very difficult call, and again, we have the ability to slow it down, and I still don't know.
Obathon, quick possession for UNLV to give it right back to the Cougars.
An opportunity, one possession game, and the pressure now shifts to UNLV. This neutral site game that's 3 miles away from campus.
A lot of red shirts here at the T-Mobile Arena.
As many blue shirts as I anticipated, I'll be honest with you. BYU usually travels great. Marriott Center is one of the best environments in college basketball. I love going there.
Pick and roll. Childs with the left again. Physical inside.
That slip screen action's been good, and it's a 1-point game.
6-0 run for BYU. This game has flipped as soon as Embry came in this second half to be the captain of the defensive end. Do they have another stop? In that. 5 seconds on the shot clock for UNLV. Ntambwe 22pts the drive. I don't think he got that off. Offensive rebound by Clyburn. Got it back again.
How about the effort by Clyburn? I didn't think the shot got off before the shot clock, but the refs did. But Clyburn didn't stop playing.
Nope. Hawes fakes right, goes left, switches back to his right. What a move by TJ Hawes. Back to 1 point. Long three for Obathon.
I guess the flow of the game.
There we go. Now Embry on the other end. He's not wasting any time. The lefty. Trying to go bank out of bounds. BYU basketball.
Now BYU doing a great job executing. A little step side, crossover, help side rotation, slow. And again, it's about getting the ball quickly off your hand and getting it up in the air over the top of the shot blocker. Nice job reading the back line of the defense by TJ Hawes.
BYU trailed by as many as 17. Now Childs gives them the lead. Oh, excuse me, did not give them the lead. A big slam. Got the three-pointer on the other end.
It should be worth 4 when you come on somebody like that. I mean, my goodness.
An emphatic slam for Yoli Childs. Now up to 22 points. Foul in the other direction.
Why would you ever fade away when you have the capabilities to catch and do this? Stand between me and the rim. I dare you. Time I go down the floor.
Well, the only thing that has stopped the BYU momentum here in the second half is the fact that they continue to foul and continue to put UNLV on the free throw line. This is the 23rd and 24th free throw attempts for UNLV.
And they're 11 of 13 in the second half.
Eric Rothman, Sean Farnham here with you at T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas. BYU has come back in this ball game after trailing by 17.
Clyburn is gone.
Call for his 5th foul.
That's huge. But that's just not a smart play.
Right. That far away from the basket.
I mean, you've got 4 fouls. You cannot put yourself in that position to foul out of the game in that type of foul. There are other fouls I could accept. That is not one of them. From an experienced player, you have to mandate that you understand how to play when you have 4 fouls, when your team needs you.
So for the final 3:43, UNLV will be without their leading scorer. As Clyburn takes a seat, disqualified with 21 points on 8 of 13 shooting. Got 3 3-pointers in that big first half for UNLV. That's Hawes called with the foul.
Look, that is a correct call. There's no doubt about that. That is a foul. If you're TJ Hawes, you just picked up a foul on somebody well beyond the three-point line who's just reaching in, and then you come out 10 feet beyond the three-point line and just body somebody up and give it right back to them. You have to understand. Look, whether you like all the calls or not, irrelevant. How have the officials called the game? Have they called it tight? Okay, so if they've called it tight, you have to adjust defensively. They're clearly not going to adjust their calls, so you have to adjust. And it's not that they've been inconsistent. They have been consistent throughout.
So the free throws for each team is Hardman. Another floater on the inside for BYU, back within 2. Robot inside. Ntambwe had it stripped. Right now the referee's saying it's UNLV basketball. I think BYU has a pretty good argument. I thought it was off Ntambwe knee. His elbow.
That shouldn't be BYU call.
Yep.
Knee, elbow, same thing.
Yep. Corner, 3. Roboto. Offensive rebound underneath Joel Ntambwe.
When a shot goes up against UNLV, if you are not looking to put a body on somebody and get them out of position, you're giving up 2 points essentially.
Sellius the answer on the other end.
Dave Roach will say, hey, let's get a rebound.
1-point game with 2.5 to play. Loose ball. Missed the handoff. Hawes flips it up ahead. Hardnett lays it in. And 1. And BYU has the lead.
It's so great to see these two schools going back after each other for so long in the Mountain West Conference. This is what we came to expect. High-level basketball, physical basketball, teams going after each other. The back and forth between it was one of the best rivalries in the country at the time. And for the first time since 2011, this game has not disappointed.
First lead for BYU since 11 minutes to go in that first half. Now we hear some noise from the Cougar faithful. Step back, the southpaw. Offensive rebound for UNLV. Hardy wants to reset, see what kind of play Menzies has. Hardy stripped, tie up, and a held ball. BYU basketball.
Great defense that time by BYU. They communicated, they pinched, they showed. Hardy got loose with the handles and lost control of the ball. The double team. Child's got his hand in on it, swiped it away. Regained possession. Emery back into the game for BYU.
Three-point shooting for UNLV has dried up. 3 of 10 here in the second half. It's a 6-0 run for BYU. 1.5 to go in regulation. Lob pass inside. Childs bodied, no whistle. Rotham just inside the arc. Rebound tracked down by Sellius.
Lead here, minute left to go. Be patient. Make sure you get the quality shot that you want to see. If you're BYU, call a timeout by Coach Rose, a nice timeout. Understanding how important this possession is. What I would do if I'm BYU conference play. Now you're feeling pretty good about where you're at. Again, I want a shot in the paint if I'm BYU.
Hardin's got it in his hands. Hands it off to Hawes.
Here comes the on-ball screen. There's a slip. Nope.
Hawes takes it himself. Loose ball, Hardin picks it up. 7 to shoot.
Got attack.
Hawes for 3.
I wanted a shot in the paint. I I know you're open there. You can take that dribble in and get that free throw line. Jump shot. At least get something going towards the basket. And really, Childs came out to set the screen and then just stood and watched.
35 seconds on the game clock, 17 seconds on the shot clock. UNLV down by 2. Ntambwe lost it, and he was fouled. Big foul on BYU and Zach Sellius.
That's why you drive. That's why you don't shoot the jump shot. The way this game has been called, if you're Haws on that last possession, even after the kick out, see, if you go towards the basket with 3 seconds, you can dribble the ball 3 times and still get a shot off in 3 seconds. All he needed to take was 1 or 2 dribbles. Would have had a free throw line shot, a floater, or most likely somebody running at him, fouling him, and getting him to the free throw line.
Instead, they put Ntambwe on the free throw line. He's been excellent. Now 7 of 8 in this game. 22 points for Ntambwe. And UNLV that stopped when the Cougars left for the West Coast Conference in 2011. This has been a great reunion here at Las Vegas.
Worst case scenario for BYU, this game should go into overtime. Best case scenario is they win it.
Shot clock is off for the final 12 seconds. Haws has it in his hand. Tells Hardnett to pause. 7 seconds as Hardnett gets the handoff. 6 seconds. Emery needs to go. 4 seconds. Here's Emery caught in the air. Sellius for 3. Overtime. Reminder that UNLV is without Chris Clyburn, who was their lead student with 21 points. Has been surpassed by Ntambwe with 22. Shakur Houston injured, not playing in this game. Yoli Childs has a double-double to lead BYU. It was a 17-point second half comeback. They were down 47-30 at the break.
I thought UNLV had gained control in their front court and passed it into the back court.
I couldn't tell. He was sitting on the foot of referee Mike Reed. Rotham, 8 seconds to go on the shot clock. Gets it back on the wing. 4 to shoot for Rotham. Awkward. Good defense by Sellius. Drive, double clutch. Wanted the whistle. Defense by UNLV. Harding called for the travel. He has a couple times here late in this game gone in wildly into the paint and committed turnovers. Hardy and Rabonda have really had to step up with Clyburn on the bench. With disqualification, 5 fouls. Emery takes a seat for BYU. Freshman Connor Harding getting some crunch time minutes. Childs calling for it. Horrible pass by Haws. Hit the rim. Hardnett heels on the arc. Another chance for BYU. Haws for 3. All loose. Battle on the floor between Ntambwe and Sellius. Sloppy possession there for BYU, but they got 3 opportunities at it. It will be BYU basketball on the hell ball.
Every possession starts with an offensive rebound. There's been 4 possessions for BYU in the overtime period. There's been 1 touch by Yoli Childs, and it was beyond the 3-point line. There you go.
Backing in, jump hook for Childs. Easy does it.
That's where I want him. I might sound like a broken record if you're watching this game, but he's unstoppable there.
It just seems so obvious why it took so long and why they haven't gone back to the well more often. Because nobody has been able to handle Yoli Childs in the low post. UNLV again taking it deep into the shot clock. 6 to shoot for Ntambwe. Offensive rebound and a foul. And Jean fights for it and earning free throws.
This is just part of their culture. They just keep walking in and just look. You have 3 BYU players. All of them are underneath the backboard. There's no capability of getting a rebound there. And all that is UNLV just walking right into the paint and initiating that contact. And their hands are straight up in the air. And they're just nudging and pushing their way all the way to where they want to be. That's why they're one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country. And it's why they've been able to get to the free throw line as frequently as they have. They have 15 offensive rebounds in this game, which is their season average.
6th in the country. 2 more free throws for Jean. UNLV shooting close to 85% from the free throw line.
He makes free throws the way that he's had. 6 of 7 tonight. He was 5 of 7 the other night, 5 of 6 the other night. I'm telling you.
2.5 minutes to go here in the overtime period. Hawes to keep it alive. Nowhere to go on that sideline. Good move by Harding, but he slides the pivot foot. Called for the travel. Turnover number 11 on BYU. They've done a much better job taking care of the basketball in the second half and now overtime. But they give it back to UNLV with under 2 minutes to play. Three seconds at the free throw line for Hardy.
Don't panic. 3 seconds in the shot clock. You catch the ball 3. Got defender running out at you. It's a simple dribble action right to that mid-range jump shot at the elbow. It's what I thought Haas should have done at the end of regulation.
See what Hawes does now, down by 2. The mismatch. Childs, triple team, and foul.
For all the stuff that Child's done tonight, times he's been free throw line? 0. Late shot clock execution, little hesitate. Drive-bys, the defender's closing out, leaving his feet. Hard to imagine, by the way, that Childs has the production that he's had in the course of this game. And this is his first free throw attempt.
Comes with 1:25 to go in overtime. Overall, UNLV has shot 11 more free throws than BYU has. 1-1 for Yoli Childs.
Now for UNLV, be very patient here. And I think late shot clock, they're trying to get something going towards the basket. Little shot fake on the perimeter, try to get inside the defense.
Travel. I was about to say that UNLV has done a great job in this overtime, being patient, deep in the shot clock on their offensive possessions. But Ntambwe a little too overzealous. Turns it over.
Token pressure by the Rebels. Half of the Childs. Don't walk and let the ball get past you.
It's already behind the block. Here we go. Pause. Easy. Great play out of the timeout for BYU.
Simple, aggressive, attacking the paint. Nice job.
The players are ready to go. The officials are not.
One of our timers, by the way, over there is Mark Retner. Mark Retner is one of the most influential people in combat sports. Whether it was the head of the Nevada Athletic Commission, there he is right there. One of the executives now at UFC. He was in the ring the night that Tyson bit Holyfield's ear off. He's in the famous picture there. He's got a great picture in his office of him with Sonny Liston. And just one of the iconic figures in the world of boxing and now combat sports.
He loves sports, that's why he's here. Keep it tight. Loves being around the game. 45 seconds to go in overtime. UNLV down by 1 coming out of the timeout. Hardy drives. Foul. No basket. Hardy with a burst of speed. The BYU defense collapsing around him. Hardy will shoot 2. Chance to give the Running Rebels the lead. 5 on Celius. One of the 3-point snipers for BYU is out. Takes his 10 points with him.
Very impressed with UNLV's fight here. You know, and I've been impressed with it all season long. Difficult losses to Cincinnati and Illinois in particular. But this is a resilient group. They're playing hard for their coach. They're playing hard for each other.
Hardy is now 11 of 12 from the free throw line. The Rebels are back up by 1. Timeout BYU. Hardnet with it. Childs standing on the 3-point arc. Seems to become confusion as to what they're doing. Hardnet drives. Muscles it up and in. Couldn't have been the play they drew up, but they'll take 2. 90-89. BYU up by 1. Timeout by UNLV.
Well, if you're TJ
To inbound. 14 seconds to go. In overtime, UNLV down by 1. Shot clock has been turned off. It's Hardy with the handle. Hardnet guarding him. 5 seconds to go. Hardy, good crossover. Robotham for 3. It's good! Oh my goodness!